an indication of encourage by March 10th. If a proposer is welcome to submit a full proposal, regardless if they have an encourage or discourage decision. Final RFP responses are due to US Ignite no later than March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern. You should email your proposal directly to Megan Histand, who will confirm receipt of your proposal by email. Now we can move on to slide 3. Project context. Slide 3 lists the key US Ignite personnel that will be participating in this project, so you'll have it available for your reference. Due to the nature of the RFP review and the selection process, please direct all questions to Megan at this time. With that, let's get into the introduction of the service vehicle pilot. Here on slide 5, we can see the key elements that make up a smart base and how the infrastructure works together. In the center is the cantonment area, including a security entry gate, operating buildings such as barracks, dining facilities, and offices, with a series of roads and parking lots that connect them all. The Autonomous Vehicle Research Testbed is leveraging the unique environment of Fort Carson to pilot these new advancing technologies to reduce operational costs, improve public safety, and enhance the lives of 65,000 active duty family members, reserve military civilians, and contractors living and or working on the base. So what is the Autonomous Vehicle Research Testbed? On slide 6, we turn our focus to the AV Research Testbed specifically. Again, US Ignite is leading the project under contract from ERDIC through August of 2021. The objective of the project is to deploy a number of AVs and sensor-based technologies to reduce operational costs, improve public safety, and enhance the lives of soldiers and families. The goal of the project is to develop a comprehensive implementation plan for scaling AV technologies at Fort Carson and other Army bases. The partnership between US Ignite, ERDIC, Fort Carson, and the University of Colorado Boulder, and technology vendors like yourself is the key to our success. The service vehicle pilot will include a number of AV use cases that are specific to the installation and its mission. The service vehicle pilot request for proposal was released, the US Ignite released the AV shuttle RFP late last year, and we are in the process of selecting a vendor for that contract award. This service vehicle RFP complements the testbed by including AV applications beyond that of the shuttle service. This RFP also differs in that there is more flexibility to tailor an AV application to a specific use case by modifying the scope and duration of the pilot accordingly. Please consider the following points as you prepare your proposal. Fort Carson is essentially a small city which includes schools, shopping, and services in addition to all the infrastructure needed to complete its mission. The use cases that we have presented here in the RFP are just identified through discussions with the base personnel in multiple brainstorming sessions. US Ignites welcomes AV applications that are expanded on or different from those presented here. Keep in mind, a pre-proposal is required to be eligible to submit a full proposal. The pre-proposal process allows us to provide feedback to you so you can manage your resources in preparing your final proposal. Fort Carson is home to Butts Army Airfield, which is responsible for the operation of over 100 rotary wing aircraft that are on a daily training missions that include the use of multiple concrete, asphalt, and grass-covered surfaces. Foreign object debris, or FOD, is a substance, debris, or article alien to a vehicle or system which would potentially cause damage. In reality, this can be anything from plastic bags to broken concrete to nuts, bolts, or tools that can be kicked up by the rotor wash and ingested by the engines or damage any of the control surfaces on the aircraft. The airfield FOD program relies on a manual visual inspection and removal on a regular schedule. This is a time-consuming process that takes manpower away from other tasks. One of the objectives of the testbed is to demonstrate how an AV may be able to assist in the FOD program. So 3 levels of capability could be lowest level being automated inspection of the airfield, ramps, and taxiways and surrounding grounds. So this would be an ability to identify FOD on the installation or on the facility. The next level of service would be an AV sweeper that mechanically sweeps an area independent of the level of FOD present. So imagine just a sweeper on a regular scheduled route. The highest level of capability would be an automated FOD detection, classification, and removal device. So this would be on a scheduled route, but be able to identify particularities in the FOD and be able to remove it from the airfield. The airfield management also expressed interest in extracting trash from a train link perimeter fence due to the large amount of material that it collects there. A somewhat simple but very daunting task at hand. The second area of use cases that we considered is equipment delivery. As we mentioned earlier, Fort Carson has all the elements of a small city and requires a constant flow of materials to sustain daily operations. These can vary in scale from food court supplies to motor pool replacement parts to the shuttling of personal equipment of incoming soldiers. In the RFP, we have provided a number of vehicle categories and examples to help describe the AV delivery needs. The smallest being an AV gator for, say, shipment of movement of duffel bags and luggage from in-processing, light-duty vehicle for food service and supplies, a medium-duty truck for larger equipment on a logistics route, and then one could consider even possibly a small, lightweight mail or package delivery system. So this is just some thought starters. So if your application is something similar to this, we'd be very interested in hearing it in the pre-proposal process. Finally, we have this opportunity to provide a point-to-point ride-hailing service. So while we have the AV shuttle pilot in process, which will be transporting a larger number of passengers on a fixed route, there's still great demand for a point-to-point transportation service. Therefore, we have included an on-demand ride-hailing AV use case for consideration. This service would utilize a standard passenger vehicle potentially and would serve a large population of soldiers that do not have personal vehicles. Some of the objectives of this use case would include establishing guidelines for AV taxi operation on an installation, provide after-hours service to incoming soldiers, provide transportation and destinations that are not available by shuttle, and establish a partnership with vendors interested in developing operational awareness on installations. On slide 11, I'll detail the network and data analytics that are available. So what differentiates this project from other pilots is a desire to establish and collect data and modeling framework that will help the Department of Defense measure and predict the outcomes and impacts of AVs on their installations. We will install a wireless network that will primarily service the AV shuttle route, collecting operational data from that vehicle and its surroundings. Ideally, we'll be able to operate the service AV within that coverage area to leverage the communications and data collection capabilities. If your AV application would benefit from a dedicated network, we have the opportunity to meet that need. With that in mind, we would request an openness to share your data with our analytics team for modeling and analysis purposes. The specifics of the network design and how it can be utilized to monitor, operate, or manage your AV will be discussed as the project progresses. So now we'll get into just the basics and how the RFP will function itself. So any questions regarding this RFP should be submitted to email by Megan Histand on or before February 12th. All questions and answers will be made available on our website to all the responders through our website. US Ignite is looking forward to receiving your preliminary proposal by February 21st. Remember, pre-proposal must be received to qualify for the full proposal submission. Full proposals are due no later than March 27th at 8 p.m. Proposers must submit a complete proposal in the format specified in this RFP. No other format will be considered. A proposal will consist of two separate documents, a technical proposal and a cost proposal. I'll dive deeper into these proposal contents in a few minutes. Any proposal received at the deadline will not be considered and will be rejected without review. The evaluation period will begin soon after the proposals are received. I'll touch on the evaluation details in a moment. In early April, selected responsive proposers may be required to make an oral presentation of the proposed solution to US Ignite and other project stakeholders. Additionally, select proposers may be invited to provide live demonstrations at their own facility or other locations that we mutually agree upon. These demonstrations will take place in the month of April. We hope to have an AV partner or partners selected in May. So the preliminary proposal are limited to 5 pages total, describing the project, and 1 page per each key team member within the team qualification section. So this gives us an opportunity to consider use cases that aren't captured in these examples that we provided today. The full proposals are limited to 20 pages for the technical proposal, and a preliminary proposal must be submitted by the deadline in order to submit a full proposal. The cost proposal is based on the template available in Appendix B. US Ignite intends to issue a fixed price contract for 6 months with a 6 months extension period to a suitable proposer who demonstrates a capability to deliver the quality of scope of services and is the most responsive to the requirements in the RFP. Firms that can offer discounted rates for operation as part of the technology demonstration on Fort Carson will be prioritized. On slide 17, we'll discuss the evaluation of the full proposals. US Ignite will first verify that the submitted proposals satisfy the proposal content requirements and qualify to be evaluated by the evaluation committee. An evaluation committee will review all proposals in accordance with this RFP. US Ignite and its project partners will review all proposals submitted and will ensure that all proposals are reviewed in a fair, competitive, transparent, and in-depth manner. All evaluation factors outlined in this RFP are equally important and can have an impact on the overall recommendation for award. On page 14, you see we'll describe the evaluation of the technical and cost proposals. Each of the following 4 evaluation criteria is scored on a scale of 1 to 5. 1. Knowledge of the project requirements as described in the technical proposal. Prior AV experience is helpful, so please include references and examples if available. Item 2, work plan, schedule, and overall support as described in the technical proposal. 3, qualifications, range of experience of your organization, proposed staff, and organizational overview. And the resumes, and also include the resumes section of the technical proposal. Item 4, project costs and overall value as described in the cost proposal. As I mentioned previously, it is important for proposals to include small businesses. Bonus evaluation points will be provided to proposals that involve a prime organization or subcontract organization that qualifies as a small business for the other categories listed below and also in the RFP. Proposals that involve the above aforementioned small business category concerns, where at least 25% of the proposed contractor budget goes to a small business concern, will receive 1 bonus evaluation points added to the total evaluation score in categories 1 through 4. It is very important to remember that commitment to small businesses made at the time of proposal submittal or contract negotiation become part of the resulting contract and must be maintained throughout the term of the contract. US Ignite will invite 1 or more top proposers to provide a demonstration of the AV solution presented in the proposer's submission. The demo will take place at a location of the proposer's choosing that best describes the capabilities. The proposer shall also allow US Ignite to inspect the proposer's facility as part of the presentation. The following demo evaluation criteria is also scored. Number 1, the ability for the AV and the proposer to meet the requirements outlined in Appendix A. Item 2, the proposer's approach to addressing the Appendix A scope of services and detailing how the proposer will meet the project requirements. Item 3, project costs and overall value as described in the cost proposal. So we've included a number of questions that we might help tailor the project in different details. So who will review the the AV service proposals? Full proposals will be evaluated by US Ignite, University of Colorado Boulder, Fort Carson, and the US Army Research and Development Center personnel. Question 2, what review criteria will be used to evaluate the full proposals? As we described before, there's 4 items: knowledge of the project requirements, the work plan, schedule, and overall support, qualifications and experience of the staff, and project costs and overall value. Please refer to the complete RFP for these full descriptions. Question number 3, I have a use case, though it's not included in the examples you provided. Should I still submit a preliminary proposal and a full proposal? Absolutely. Yes, we welcome all use case ideas and your AV creativity to positively impact the lives of those on Fort Carson. Can multiple vendors partner to propose a solution? Yes, the vendors are responsible for managing the partnership and responding as a single entity. Question 5. I received a discouraged decision for my preliminary proposal. Can I submit a full proposal? Yes. Proposers are welcome to submit a full proposal, regardless of the encourage or discourage decision. Question 6. What are some example use cases? The use cases for the pilot may include airfield maintenance, equipment delivery, and personnel transportation, just to name a few. Question 7. Is a table of contents required for the technical proposal? The table of contents is optional and not required. The table of contents will count against the 20-page limit for the technical proposal. Question 8. Of the 6 example services provided, my company is currently only positioned to address one of those use cases. Accordingly, our response will be limited to services to the, say, point-to-point shuttle transportation as a ride-hailing service. Do you recommend that we still apply? Yes, we recommend that you apply. The use cases are meant to be illustrative and do not need to pitch more than one case. Question number 9. How are the points allocated if utilizing a small or minority business for less than 25% of the contracted value? No bonus points will be awarded if a small or minority business is utilized for less. Question 10. Are there bonding requirements for this RFP? Bonding requirements were not included with the scope of the RFP. Bonding requirements could possibly be imposed during the contract negotiation period, though. Question 11. Can non-U.S. citizens participate in the testbed project, even though it is on Fort Carson? Yes, non-U.S. citizens can participate. All personnel who are requesting unescorted access to Fort Carson and not in possession of a DoD ID card or installation will undergo a National Crime Information Center background check. This check verifies individual identity and checks their criminal history. Question 12. If my company is selected by US Ignite for a contract, what start date should we assume? For the purposes of creating a work plan, proposers can assume a late April 2020 start date. There will be a 6-month period of performance with an optional 6-month option period. Where can I learn about the specific use cases? Please refer to Appendix A, Scope of Services. We're looking for your creative solutions to positively impact the lives of those at Fort Carson. And with that, that concludes our formal webinar presentation on the service RFP. As the project director, I'm very excited about seeing the pre-proposals and working with you to meet the needs on the installation. I have a very supportive group both at ERDIC and Fort Carson, and it will be an excellent project for the next 2 years. So thank you again. Appreciate your joining.